37 days. That's the time it took us to get back home. Apparently someone has developed a fever. The 7th and last episode will cover a long journey home. I will show you what it is like to spend 19 days in a cabin without getting out, and how we spend our time.
Take things slow and mix the time between reading, change friends.
This is day 2 and this is our lunch. We are told that we could be here for weeks or months. It's pretty hard to swallow. I will also show you our charter flight home, as well as the 2 weeks we spent in quarantine in Australia. This video will be different than the rest of the series, but as always, sit back, relax, and hopefully enjoy this video. Welcome to part 7 of the Antarctic Visual Diaries. Okay, so we finally left Antarctica and we are making our way to the Falklands now because we're going to be catching a charter flight back to Sydney. So yeah, this trip is turning into something really interesting. I'm actually doing pretty good. We're on a drag passage right now, so it gets pretty rough. You sort of get lifted sometimes in a corridor. So I've got a patch here, which actually seems to be working pretty well. Hopefully I can manage to stay like this because I can eat, I can walk around, I can film a little bit. I'm trying to document this journey as much as I can, what I feel, what I've seen, what we're doing, just because I have this idea of making visual diaries when I come back. So this is kind of like adding a personal level to it. I've got my kit ready here. The Blackmagic with Canon lens and the mic, and I'm just shooting on the EOS R right now just because it's a bit smaller with a 16-35. Kit is pretty small, which is good for a place like that. So yeah, see, it's moving a lot. So at this point we're supposed to fly at the 25th of March. You know, we've been tested for temperature every 3 days, everyone is fine. So I would say we the cleanest people maybe on the planet, or at least the safest when it comes to the virus. We are also the only ones in Antarctica, and that's pretty cool. When I mean only ones, I'm talking about like the cruises. Obviously there's people in some bases, I think, still. Even if we lose even if we're losing South Georgia, which is very disappointing for me, but mostly for a lot of people. For me, Antarctica was a priority. So yeah, pretty incredible trip, and this is actually my first cruise. So yeah, it's a pretty good one to start with. So a bit of a bad news, as you can see I'm wearing a mask, and that's because someone has developed a fever on board. So they've triggered the coronavirus or COVID-19 protocol, which is everyone in self-isolation. The person has been put into quarantine on one of the wing of the ship. We don't know who it is, so for now we're gonna have to be in our cabin. This means that we can't get out, so we can't do anything else and just wait for the news. They're gonna keep us updated, but the biggest problem is, are we gonna be able to still leave on the 25th from the Falklands to go back to Australia in time, or are we gonna be stuck on the ship for 2 weeks? Hopefully it's just a cold and a fever and it's not the virus, but we've got 2 doctors on board, so we're just gonna have to wait to see. We were so close. We only had like a day and a half sailing. At the moment we're still on the drag passage, and it's a shame. Everyone is kind of bummed because we had such a good time and we already lost half the trip. But with this on top now, there's so many uncertainties for everyone, and you can kind of feel the atmosphere a bit heavy, which is understandable. I'll try to keep a daily log of what happens here and yeah, keep you updated, but it's a weird feeling. You know, at least we've got our own shower. I wish we had a balcony so we can get some fresh air, because at the moment we've just got that pothole that's kind of just like there. So yeah, during the day we might get some daylight, but you know, not much. The room is quite big, so hopefully it should be okay. Just Matt and I anyway. So yeah, we're gonna be going through photos, but whoa. it's really rocking right now. Hopefully there's a happy ending and it's just a cold and a fever, but we'll have to see in the coming days, so I'll let you know. "19 days, or 456 hours, or 27,360 minutes. Okay, so it's now 6:30 and we spent the whole day in our cabin just because we have to. So we've been getting like food for breakfast, lunch, and we also just got some toilet paper. We just went in now for our dinner. They gave us like little menus just to pick and choose. We've had our temperature checked as well, so we're all good. Matt is just behind me taking videos because the weather outside is insane. It's like the most amazing light over the waves of the Drake Passage, but we can't actually shoot because we can't go outside and we can't open the porthole, so all we have to do is like try to shoot through the glass. So tomorrow is looking like it's going to be the exact same day. We're heading to the Falklands and should arrive tomorrow afternoon or at night, and that is if we can actually dock. So I just woke up, we just had breakfast brought to the room. We had a bit of orange juice, pastries, toast. Matt had some eggs as well. So same as always, they just leave it at the door. We have to wait like a couple of minutes to go and pick it up. Hopefully nothing has changed. We're still going ahead with flying out. You can see on the map there, we're nearly there across to the Falklands. I think we're 80 miles out of the Falklands. The person that had a fever on board is feeling much better again, so that's really great. And we're still confined to our cabins until tonight, so it was like 48 hours, I think. I think I've said it before, it feels like we're like in a very luxurious prison. So this is day 2 and this is our lunch. We actually got one of each because we just kept whinging that it wasn't big enough. So we've got 2 serves.
That's heaps of food for you.
Soup, some cake. Matt over there's got the exact same thing. So yeah, I think we should be fine for a few hours. This is a very unusual time, not only because of the virus and what's happening in the world, but for us as well, coming back from Antarctica. Pretty interesting experience, and hopefully everything works out well in the end. You might be wondering why I'm wearing glasses and a hat inside the cabin, especially when we can't go out. That's because it's absolutely insanely bright outside. I can't even show you with the camera. But yeah, so since we can't get out, we can't actually get some fresh air, we just pretend that we're on holiday somewhere, even though we're just in a cabin. We've also been told that instead of spending 2 days, because we're supposed to arrive tonight in the Falklands and leave tomorrow, we're gonna have to now sail to Uruguay, Montevideo, which is another 4 days of sailing. So it looks like we're gonna be in this room for a full week, which is which kind of sounds funny, but I don't think we're gonna be laughing in 4 days. We feel pretty, I don't know, like we can't get a lot of movement, we're not allowed to get out, so yeah. Cool experience maybe when we're going to think about it in a few months, but right now, yeah, it's kind of like trying to find things to do. We've been playing games, we've been watching heaps of docos and just eating food and lying in bed. That's probably like, that's our main activity. We are on day 3 of isolation, and it's about day 4 on the sea since we left Antarctica. So today, nothing different from yesterday, I guess. The only difference is we played Words with Friends for like 4 hours. Tried to pass the time. We watched a couple of movies as well. Tried to work editing or whatever. I'm currently planning the videos that I'm going to be making when I get home. I have no idea when I'm going to get home right now, so may as well work a little bit. The sea is quite calm, which is nice. It's a nice change. But yeah, we just wish we could actually just go out and just breathe some fresh air. We're still sailing for Montevideo, which is the plan now. I think we should get there on the 27th instead of the 28th. I think the ship has picked up a bit of speed. The day actually kind of goes quick, like you feel like we've been here for a long time. The room is starting to get a little bit, like dusty and a bit dark as well as soon as we lose the light. And the staff is keeping us busy with talks and food and drinks, and so they've been really good with that and keeping our families and friends at home updated of any changes as well. So we just got some scones here because they felt bad for us, and we are actually watching yoga classes, 30-minute yoga with Adrian, I think, in tight spaces. There's Matt here doing a great job. Yeah, we just still can't make it past that door there, so that's about it. Hey guys, as you can see, this is the end of another day at sea. The weather's beautiful. We had a beautiful sunset. We can see the moon as well. We haven't had any updates concerning the trip, like the charter flights and how we're gonna get back to Sydney. So we're still waiting. We might hear something tonight or tomorrow morning. The bit of bad news is that Matt has developed fever, along with another like 6 or 7 persons. So it's not actually, we don't think it's the COVID-19 because we've been here like for 2 weeks, but it's just like a general like flu or cold that a lot of people have been experiencing. I'm on 36 and steady, so I'm crossing fingers that I will stay like that. Because obviously we don't want to get a fever when we get closer tomorrow night and the day after to Montevideo, which is where we're supposed to leave from. The day went actually pretty quick. We've watched Green Book, which is a really good movie, and like just talking to other people as well, like through the phone. Now we kind of like in the warmer waters. We were sailing along the continental shelf, which is pretty good. On the left side of the boat, on the port side, it was 82 meters deep, but on the right side it was actually 4,800 meters, which is quite different. That's just because we're right on the shelf. The boat is still going really fast. We're doing 15 knots. They've increased the speed, and that's quite a lot for a boat like that. Tomorrow we hopefully will be our last full day on this boat. Not that we hate the boat, but kind of getting sick of it because we spent so much time in the cabins. And tonight we've had some veggie meals as well, trying to eat some vegetables and try to get some vitamins as well, because we don't get to see the sun, so that's a big problem. We try to spend some time near the porthole, but that's obviously not enough.
Man, we are bored.
Feels like we've been here for months, just because we have no idea what date it is, or we don't even need to check because it doesn't matter for us. Interesting experience, but kind of looking forward to go back to Sydney to see Ems as well, because it's been really hard to communicate. We've got internet, but it's really patchy. So yeah, so about to watch a movie, and I'll catch you guys later. Now we've been told today that we might get a flight on the 30th, which would be good, I guess. The only issue is that Australia changed the law and that all incoming passenger, like travelers from overseas, must self-isolate, which used to be the case, but this time in hotels. So even if we get home, we can't actually get physically home. We'll have to spend a couple of weeks in a hotel by ourselves. A bit of a bummer, because I just feel like going home and seeing my wife and my cat. For someone like me, for example, I already self-isolate every day because I work from home, so I actually don't need to get out. I'm going to start packing today just a little bit because I feel like doing something different and watching movies and just editing. Matt is feeling a lot better, which is good. So now we're just waiting for the doctor to come and take a temperature check again. Alright, so this is Friday the 27th. We should be arriving in Montevideo in a few hours. Today nothing really different, we just played some crosswords and we actually managed to finish one, so that's one highlight. Matt is just there on the bed trying to finish the new one. We managed also to get a pack of chips because they've been like looking at us since day one, so now we've had the green lights to actually eat them, so that's pretty cool. We try to get excited about anything that is a bit different from our daily lives at the moment.
The question I get asked the most is, what did you do on a boat? You would be surprised of how much one can deal with boredom when one doesn't have a choice. Looking at the ocean, not knowing when we will be going home was a strange feeling. The days started to look the same very quickly, and we got used to the walls of our cabin. slowly becoming our new normal in our little private world. I made sure to keep a record every day of what was happening, my feelings, and anything that I felt writing at the time. When I look at it today, I smile at some of the things that I wrote down. Filming myself helped a lot as well, not only to remember things, but to keep track of the days and what was going on.
Trying to take things slow and mix the time between reading, change friends, speaking to the wife, watching movies.
In a world that was relatively predictable and safe, I felt like I was living some sort of adventure, something that wasn't normal. There was a small part of me, probably the documentarian, that was intrigued by this situation, more than scared, worried.
So we've just run in Montevideo, which is just behind me there. We can barely see the lights of the city. That's because we can't actually dock, so we just anchored I don't know how many kilometers away from the city, but we've arrived and now we just wait for tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to bring the test on board. I don't know if we need to do that. We don't have any news about the flights yet, and hopefully this is the last bit of sailing that we do, because we've been sailing for 6 days now, 4 where we couldn't leave the cabin, or 5. Almost feels like Antarctica was a complete different trip, but we've made it and we still feel right. So yeah, good news. Alright, this is day 6 of isolation. We haven't heard anything else apart from the fact that the authorities and the DFAT are working to trying to get us home, but that hasn't really changed. What changed though is we've got new neighbours. If you can see there, there's a Greenpeace boat and a few others as well, like fishing boats and cargo boats. So not much we can do or communicate with them or anything, but at least it's something different than just water. So I think Matt is on his final words of his monster crossword. It's been going for like 9 hours since yesterday and today. It's getting really hot now. It's like 27 degrees Celsius in a room. So very different than Antarctica. Everyone is clean on board. There's no fever. We've received some tests today. They've done 2 so far and they were negative. So now we're waiting for the Uruguayan authorities to let us know if we're allowed to come ashore or to dock. But until then, it's just gonna be us on our beds like old people, just doing absolutely nothing. We do get to call the other cabins though, so we can have a chat. And yeah, we're just gonna watch another beautiful sunset without being able to get some fresh air. So it's gonna be a week without fresh air, without actually stepping outside. So yep, interesting times. Just woke up, still no news. Back is really sore. Today I think it's just because we spent so much time just sitting down. We try to stretch and things, but still, so yeah, no news. Like it feels like we're really gonna stay here a while, which is not good. We don't have any updates, so it's just a bit concerning. I think it'd be a lot easier if we knew that we didn't have 2 weeks in isolation when we get home, because it's just going to be another 2 weeks without friends and family, just by ourselves. At least we'll be home and on land. But yeah, it's just it's starting to get a little bit much in here, and if we had a balcony everything would be a bit easier, but it's kind of really hard to just stay indoor with no fresh air. Try to keep a little log every day of where we are, what we do and what's happening. So this is part of it.
A lot of people told me that they wouldn't cope in this situation without fresh air for nearly 3 weeks. And I think until you're living it, you probably won't know. I'm glad that my friend Maria and I got along well, as it could have been a horrible experience.
Okay, so we just received a WhatsApp message from the embassy, the Australian embassy in Argentina, saying that Uruguay, as of last night, just denied the permission to dock. So right now, like on a thread, everyone is kind of throwing options like, should we sail back to Australia? Should we sail to another port? Should we just stay here? We don't know. Like, we don't want to sail to Australia. Today the water is beautiful. Matt was saying that maybe we should send some seaplanes here and just fly somewhere, but that would be cool. But yeah, probably won't happen. Okay, so a bit of bad news today. So we were told that we couldn't disembark. We kind of knew that. But the problem now is that the Uruguayan authorities want us to be 14-day fever-free. There's been a few fever cases in our boat and it's gone within like 24 hours, but they want us to be 14-day free, which means that every time someone gets sick, we have to wait 14 days to be able to disembark, which means that there could be no end to it. Like we could be here for like 5 months and still have someone getting sick at the last minute and have to wait another 2 weeks. So hopefully the government is doing something about it. There's a flight going on the 1st of April, so everyone's thought now is to get those DNA tests rather than the rapid tests to be sure that we don't have the COVID and then we can get home safely, because yeah, that news kind of just started a whole thing. Everyone is getting pissed off, I think, and for good reasons, you know, like we just want to be home with our families. And now that we not only we don't have a date, but we're told that we could be here for weeks or months, it's pretty hard to swallow. So see what happens, but yeah, not cool. Hey guys, morning. I mean, it's actually 12, but quick update. I haven't done a vlog yesterday, just because all the days are the same. There's definitely no getting out of the cabins, that's for sure. And they've also reduced the amount of meals that we can get, like the choice, I think, to just facilitate all this, since they need to minimize the crew and staff just walking around. I think Matt and I are learning Spanish through Duolingo. Not sure if it'll become helpful or not. Hopefully not, because we don't want to stay here. But yeah, that's something else to do. I think it's been 10 days that we've been in cabins. So yeah, Matt's birthday is actually on the 12th of April, so hopefully we don't have to spend it here. And we'll be in a hotel in Sydney. But yeah, fun times. My beard is also getting a bit longer, and I didn't bring a shaver, so yeah, hopefully I don't have to spend another like 3 or 4 weeks, because they probably won't let me back in anyway. Okay, so after waiting for days to get tested for COVID-19, we just did at 10 p.m. and man, I wish we didn't, because that was the most uncomfortable thing about this whole trip, honestly. Like, they just shove like a 15 centimeter cotton tip up your nostrils and just twist it a little bit. They do this twice, obviously. And when some of us like told us that they had their eyes like watering, we're like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, we did. So yeah, Matt had his done too, just after me, and now we're just waiting for the results, which should come in 24 to 36 hours. So hopefully we can get off this boat after that. Obviously it's something that we had to do, and we're really happy that we had done it, but it's not a pleasant experience. But unfortunately there are people on the board that have a much less pleasant experience that we have, so it's just a bit like 5 seconds of being uncomfortable and then we're done. And hopefully that's meaning that, you know, we're getting towards the end of all of this. Hey guys, it's currently 4 p.m. and we're still waiting for lunch, and that's because there's a medical team that came on board today, just to do checks on everyone. I think they had 16. Matt and I are good. The health check was good, everything is alright. We're still waiting for the results of the COVID test. Apparently there's quite a few people on board that do have it. Feels like everything is kind of coming to an end. We hear a lot about like flights and plans being finalized, so that's a good thing. But we just want to know if we have COVID or not, because if we do, then this trip is turning again into something completely different. Hopefully tomorrow we got some news and we'll be back in Sydney just a few days, hopefully, and everything is packed. We got a laundry back. We kind of worried that we didn't before we'd leave, but yeah, everything is fine. So since we had lunch at 5:30 p.m. because of the medical teams, because they were here, we still had dinner, so they sent us some cheese and crackers and double rations for dinner, so that was nice. Today was supposed to be the day that we were going back to Sydney. Obviously we're far from that, Last night we got a letter saying that some of the results have came back. Out of 126 people, 81 people got tested positive, 45 negative, which is quite a big number. And then 90 are still pending, which is us too as well. If we do get it, then we still feel fine and healthy, so at least it's that. But everything is positive, everyone is feeling a bit better, because that's a move forward. Doesn't matter the result, which is just happy to know if we do have it or not. So we should know within the day, and then we'll be able to go home and then just get another 2 weeks of isolation. So yep, there'll be probably like 5 all up, which is, I think after the end will be quite clean. So today we finally got the results for the test. So I am negative, which is good. Feel kind of lucky somehow, because a lot of people are positive on this boat. So it's a good thing, scary thing at the same time, because it means that I could still get infected, or maybe I was before and it doesn't show anymore, not sure. But anyway, it's a good result. I'm feeling well as well, which is great. The flights are being finalized right now. We're still unsure about cost, exact time and dates and transit zones, but we are going to Melbourne, so that's kind of a bummer, because we will have quarantine in Melbourne for 2 weeks, and we might have it again in Sydney for another 2 weeks. So obviously everyone hopes that it won't be the case, but that's possible. So we'll see, but that's positive, I guess. It means that we are coming home at the end of the week. Alright guys, good news, we are coming home. So the flight will be at 1:40 a.m. between Friday and Saturday here, and we should be landing in Melbourne around 6 or 7 a.m. I think on Sunday. So that's a big relief. We've been here 18 days now in this cabin. I think family and friends are happy. We still don't have the full details, like as in if we can bring all our luggage with us, which for Matt and I, we have to think about our gear as well, because we brought quite a bit. But yeah, we're quite happy, and you can see Matt over there with the cabin that we're gonna have to say goodbye for a very long time, I hope. But this is good. There's also no cost. We've heard about $15,000 first, so really thankful for all of this. This has been a pretty crazy adventure. We still have today and tomorrow night we'll be leaving, and I'd say maybe repacking or anything, but this is good. Alright guys, this is our last day in cabin 310, so we're flying out tonight. Gotta miss it, kinda. We've been here for like 19 days now, so the only thing, so we're really excited to get home. The only thing is we can't take any checked in bags, so our big suitcases have to be unpacked, and we can carry as many carry-on bags as we want. So I think we're probably gonna have like 4 or 5 each, and we're gonna try to fit everything that we brought here into those bags, because we don't know if or when we will be getting our big suitcase. So we've got all of this here. I'll do a turn and see Matt's stuff as well. All of that. So yeah, I have to fit 180 liters, which could work, but we might have to leave some like jackets or maybe like a couple pair of undies or something like that. So yeah, it's still really exciting. Tonight at 9:30 we're going to start disembarking and fly around 1 a.m. and we should be getting Sunday morning in Melbourne into a hotel for another 2 weeks. Again, thanks to the Uruguayan government, the Australian government, DFAT. It was a big thing that no one kind of saw coming, and no one thought that it would go this way. But still, trip of a lifetime, sure is. And next time I'll chat to you guys, probably I'll be in Melbourne in a hotel on land. So this is the last day in a 28-day crazy adventure.
It's nerve-wracking, man.
I know.
It's keen to get off, but now I don't want to go.
There you go, you're on camera. Yep.
Sweet. See you, mate.
See ya. All right.
All right, mate. I'll see you in looking up.
Give me an elbow check. All right. See you, man.
Luck.
All right. So we are on a bus now. We just disembarked. So I'm part of group 1, and there's 4 groups. I don't know how many buses. If there's only 4 or 5, I didn't really get the chance to see. But I'm on a bus, and we're waiting to go to the airport. So we've been here for about 20 minutes now, and we should be going soon. It's a 45-minute ride to the airport. And then from there's no control. There will be, I think, maybe a little check, I'm not sure. But yeah, going home.
The trip from the boat to the airport was probably the most surreal part of this ordeal. Being escorted in the middle of the night by the police in a country that we were never meant to visit was a strange experience.
Thanks guys, thank you. Go here, that's fine, yeah. So we've just boarded the plane. There's still a few buses outside. But yeah, we were supposed to get assigned seats, but now we kind of like sit wherever we want, which is kind of messy. I've got most of my bags here, 4 out of 6. The best thing is we could actually change the mask, because as you can see my nose is so red from the N95 mask, but on board we're allowed to just wear these ones, which is good. It looks like there's separation just behind me from the positives. But yeah, we should be going, I don't know, maybe like in an hour or something.
I think we truly felt a relief only once the plane finally took off. And even though the flight was nearly 17 hours long, it was actually alright and went quite quick. Once we landed in Australia, things got strange again. Arriving in a closed airport with only police and medical staff on the tarmac.
Thank you.
We had to fill some forms. A lot. And then jump on buses again to go to a hotel that will be our home for the next 14 days. Checking in the underground parking.
Thank you. 1. Oh man.
It took us nearly 4 hours from the time that we landed to me stepping into my hotel room. Just a few days after arriving in a hotel, after adjusting to the new situation, I felt the urge to work and film. So I decided to get my camera and film whatever happened through the window over the course of one day. I found this exercise to be incredibly interesting, both from a personal and creative point of view.
Hey guys, so I haven't actually vlogged in the past 5 days since we've arrived here at the hotel. Just wanted to go back to normal a bit, you know, just work, edit, talk to friends and family. But I thought today, because it's been 5 days, that I would just give you, or even for myself, just like a quick update. So it's been pretty good, being able to work again, to see some trees and some land. So that's actually pretty good. I've built my little workstation here with the box, ordered a keyboard, so I've been editing photos and videos for the better part of the day. We have a lot of calls from nurses and doctors and Department of Health just checking on us, make sure we're all right. So now we're organizing the flight home to Sydney, which is really cool. I thought I'd give you like a little tour of the room. Entrance here, there's like a mini bar. This is where I put our food, because they pick it up once a day after 8 p.m. And here you can see all the gear that I was carrying. The bed is massive, so desk there, food for days, and just the bathroom. The days actually go pretty quick. I almost need more hours, and by the time you talk to the nurses and the doctors and the Department of Health in the hotel, and you know, we get served meals here, same on the ship, you know, around 12 and around 6:37 at night. It's kind of interesting to still be in the same situation, but at least we're here in Melbourne. I had some friends actually that just live next door, so they're able to just come and just say hi, which is nice. You can also see that my beard has gotten a bit longer. So yeah, it's gonna be another like 10 days of that, so that's gonna be interesting. I'm glad that I had the computer, all cameras, and the mic as well, because that allows me to edit my work. You kind of take things for granted when you're home, and you can kind of just go outside and see trees and breathe some fresh air. Obviously in these times it's a bit different, but when you haven't seen trees for like a month, or you haven't had fresh air on your face for 5 weeks, except for when you're on a tarmac at the airport with a mask on your face, yeah, it feels good to be just back in a hotel room, trust me. Interesting thing as well, I had actually made a sign with written "off to lands" on it as a joke with my friend Matt, to put on the windows on the bus and the plane. And he had the hotel, and I actually had the news channel that just called me to do a live interview, which I ended up declining because media is a bit tricky to handle around this situation, and I don't think being vocal is a good thing. It could backfire, and we've seen that in the past. I've said no, but it was fun that it actually worked, that I actually managed to get an interview on the national TV, just by putting a sign outside my hotel window. This is my last full day in a hotel. I think it's day 47 out of 49, and so I've just received my suitcase here. This is actually a replacement because, like, you know, we had to leave our check-in on the boat. So now I have to take this and put all of that, So we're checking out tomorrow, but we're actually flying out Monday, and that's because we arrived on the 12th at 12 p.m. So we had to check out at 12 p.m. tomorrow, but there's no flight on Sunday afternoon because no one is flying. So our flight has been arranged for Monday 9 a.m. flying from Melbourne to Sydney, arriving 10:30. So 10:30 I'll be back in Sydney, so technically, give or take like an hour and a half or two later, I should be home on Monday lunchtime. So that's really exciting after such a long journey. And this has been such a weird and crazy experience. I think we've learned a lot about ourselves. I don't regret it. I love my time in Antarctica. Yes, the time on a boat was tough sometimes, but I had Matt with me and we kept each other like positive. We're young as well, so we still had a lot of energy, and working on photos and videos just like kind of like helped us going through that as well. We kept busy. The 2 weeks at a hotel here were actually pretty good in a way that I was working most of the day. Like I was probably working like 8 to 12 hours a day, editing photos, editing videos, just going through footage that I'd taken there, talking to friends and family. And I'm just gonna pack. I still have like a lot of like food here and chocolate, but I'm keen to go back to my workstation. But I'm doing this as just to document the whole thing and just to keep for myself as well, because obviously I'm going to remember this experience forever, but there are some details such as, you know, like specific times and feelings that I might forget. As you can see, my beard is still growing. I think I'm on 7 weeks now. So I just have to make sure that my cat actually doesn't, you know, thinks I'm a stranger, because I'll really break my heart. I'm really keen to be back home with my wife, Ems. I think that's the longest time we've spent apart, nearly 2 months. So this is it. I don't really know how to end this, because I don't even remember how I started it. So I have never vlogged in my life, and I have done it almost every day on the trip for 32 days. And since I've been here just a couple of times, but it's been interesting. Now I'm gonna pack, get ready, and tomorrow I'm out of this hotel onto another one. But Monday morning we're all flying home, and we'll be home. So yeah, I think this is it for me, guys. See ya. Okay, so I've just arrived in a hotel in Melbourne. This is our last night. We had to change hotel before flying tomorrow morning, and the room is actually pretty good, kind of like a IKEA vibe to it, but yeah, I'm just gonna go outside, see Matt. So keen to go home tomorrow to Ems as well. Today is actually our 6 months wedding anniversary, so this is kind of cool. So yeah, I'm really keen to go back, but I'm gonna go outside for now, just have a walk, just enjoy some fresh air, and just being able to go outside without a mask. And it's actually been since the 23rd of March, so yeah, I'm going.
When today I think about this whole thing, I try to remember the best part, our week in Antarctica, and how amazing it was. But of course it is impossible for me not to think of what we've been through. I take this as an experience, and I think I learned a lot about myself and the value of certain things. I dedicate this video to all the people that were involved in this, the passengers and their families and friends, the crew, the staff, my wife, Matt, and everyone that helped us go home. What an adventure it was. I hope to be back in Antarctica one day to see those magnificent views again, but until then, bye.